Heart-wrenching testimony from Tammy Nobles during the Mayorkas impeachment hearing after her autistic daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was brutally murdered by a member of MS-13 who was in this country illegally. Republicans on the House Homeland Security Committee voted to move forward with impeaching Mayorkas for his failure to secure the southern border, with a markup of the articles expected before the end of the month. Joining me right now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive to walk us through the process is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Congressman Mark Green. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for being here.
Thanks, Maria.
Well, this really was hard to watch, this testimony by the woman who lost her daughter. You all are out until the end of January. When you get back on January 29th, will you walk us through how you will approach impeaching Alejandro Mayorkas?
Yeah, Maria, right now we are assembling articles of impeachment to present to our committee. We'll mark those up in committee very shortly after getting back. And then passing the committee, they'll go to the floor for a vote on the floor.
So the vote on the floor you're expecting in early February then?
I think it's very soon after. You know, one of our challenges is just the folks that are out for health issues right now. But once those individuals get back, I anticipate a very quick vote on the floor.
Bottom line, do you feel you have the votes to impeach Mayorkas?
Yes, we have the votes.
You have the votes, and are you seeing that as a opening to actually get this done? What happens in the Senate? Do you believe he will actually be out of the job?
I certainly hope so, Maria. Look, this guy has subverted the laws passed by Congress, ignoring a co-equal branch of government. It's very clear the law says shall detain, and Mayorkas has done everything not to detain. In fact, he's created systems that what he calls lawful parole, but it's actually totally contradicting the Immigration and Nationality Act that was passed by this Congress. The executive branch executes the laws. Congress writes laws. If a cabinet secretary doesn't believe in those laws, he should run for Congress and come over here and change them. He shouldn't just, like a king, do whatever he wants. And that's basically what Mayorkas has done. And that's why we're going after this impeachment. It's about the Constitution, Maria. It's about the founding principles of our country, separation of power, an executive branch that executes, and a legislative branch that writes the laws. He doesn't get to write the laws or pick and choose.
Well, I mean, do you find it ironic that suddenly President Biden claims he's been telling everybody for 10 years that the border is not secure? I mean, he just said that. Of course, we know we're 2 days away from New Hampshire and 289 days away from the presidential election. It appears the president is getting religion.
Now, I think what's happening is he's recognizing this is an 80-20 issue for the American people. The American people, even Democrats. I mean, I have Democrats that are my colleagues in the House telling me that he should be fired. But it's unfortunate they're probably going to vote to not impeach. But the truth of the matter is every American recognizes that they're not safe with this open border. His lawless actions have resulted in 150,000 fentanyl deaths. The cartels metastasizing across our country, controlling the gangs that are in our country and in our cities. Of course, the terrorists. You and I have talked before on your weekday show about the 28,000 Chinese that have come into this country in the last year, many of them military age with prior associations with the PLA. I mean, he has put the national security, the safety of Americans at massive risk, and that impact is because of his lawlessness. He has to go.
Well, we don't even know why they're doing it, why they're coming all over here. Are they being directed by Xi Jinping? I mean, 28,000 Chinese nationals, military-aged men. We may already have written the script of what's about to happen to America. Why?
Well, I don't understand why they're allowing it. I can tell you that Xi Jinping he saw what happened in Ukraine. The Russians infiltrated people. They immigrated into Eastern Ukraine. And then they basically, when the attack happened, those guys became the saboteurs. Now, if you look at the numbers prior to this last year, the highest number of Chinese nationals was 1,800. And suddenly in a year, it's 28,000. And you can't get a plane ticket in China without a correct social credit score. The Chinese know when you're flying to El Salvador and coming to the United States.
Well, this is all very disturbing, and the reason that we're constantly asking the question whether or not Joe Biden is compromised. But let me go back to this impeachment hearing. Why now? Why not a year ago? I mean, you just heard your colleague, Michael McCall, say we should have done this a year ago. And we're still talking about it. You can understand the frustration on the part of Republican voters, your constituents who say, you all can't get it done.
Maria, I'm frustrated. I would love to have done this a year ago, but because there are colleagues, and these are some Republicans who think that there ought to be a judicial, methodical due process, we did that in our committee. We did a 5-phased investigation over the course of the last year, looking at his dereliction of duty, looking at the human cost to the country, looking at the financial cost of the country, looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. And we have finished that report in December, and now we're moving forward with the impeachment. We did that methodical process to educate the American people and hopefully educate a few Republicans that felt that was a necessary process.
All right, Congressman, we're going to be watching your work. And, of course, those articles of impeachment and the actual impeachment come early February. Thanks very much. We will look to have you back soon, sir. Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.